Hi, I'm Miriam Scheinflum, and my book is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Things Fall Apart is about the clash of cultures during the period of African colonialism, and it's one of the first books told from the African point of view rather than from the point of view of white settlers. It was written in 1957 during the period of post-colonialism, but the book was set in the 1890s, which was pre-colonial Nigeria, and then it kind of merged into the colonial period. And Chinua Achebe, he was born in Igbo land, southern Nigeria, in I think 1930. Yeah, and this is where he has his book set, Nigeria, and he's known as the patriarch of the African novel, largely due to this book, Things Fall Apart, because it was one of the first books written from the African point of view. He advocated the right of Africans to tell their own stories, and he also went to many universities. He taught at universities such as Brown. He wrote other books, and he won many awards. Some themes of this book were, the majority of the themes were pretty different from concepts, more modern concepts. Like, they were kind of like more negative, but clash of culture, it was all throughout the stories, about how when you have two different ideas, beliefs, they come together and they are unable to like see past the differences, and it just destroys everything and things fall apart. And such as like with language barriers throughout the book, it like hindered the different people's abilities to communicate about what their beliefs were or what their motivations were. And so not only were the different culture, not only were the African natives not able to communicate with the English-speaking settlers, but the different clans had language differences that that made them have miscommunications as well. There was also a theme relating to gender and how masculine was seen as better than feminine. And so this was seen in all types of things, such as, like we said, the feminine, feminine ochu. We'll see later. It's when Okonkwo, the main character, he commits an accidental murder, and so it's called female because it's seen as the lesser and the of the two it's seen as a weaker version of murder as opposed to a male murder, which would be one that you intended to do. And so there's also religion throughout, and so we see the Igbo religious aspects and how they are similar to and different from the church that the missionaries bring with them. And then traditions, we see how younger generations tend to stray from the traditions of their ancestors, and they kind of have new ideas and go along with new ways of thinking, such as Nwoye, who is Okonkwo's son. Okonkwo is a strong believer in traditional Igbo culture and beliefs, but his son Nwoye, he becomes a Christian convert, and Okonkwo just doesn't even recognize him as his son anymore. So the characters, the characters are kind of confusing, but we have Okonkwo is the main character, and his main motivation in life is to not be similar to his father Yunoka, who was poor, lazy, seen as a failure, and he rises from that past. He rises in society, and he's also very short-tempered. His oldest son is Naoye, and he is lazy, and so like Okonkwo's father was, and he kind of eventually questions traditions. Ikemefuna is sacrificed by his clan to prevent war, and he's 15 years old, and after he's sacrificed to Okonkwo's clan, he stays with Okonkwo's household for 3 years until they decide his fate. And then the gods decide he must be murdered to please the gods, and so Okonkwo himself commits this murder. And he's seen as a big brother to Naoye. Ezinma is Okonkwo's Okonkwo's favorite daughter, and he wishes that she were a boy because she understands him like nobody else, and he wishes she was a son because masculine is put above feminine throughout the book. And she's Nobanje, which means that she is like a changeling who is reborn multiple times, and then just to keep dying as a stillborn child or something. And then she's the only daughter of Ekwefi, who is Okonkwo's second wife. And then Uchendu is Okonkwo's mom's brother, and he lives in Mabanta, which is Okonkwo's motherland, and he kind of helps Okonkwo and his family out when they get exiled from their homeland. And then Obierka is Okonkwo's good friend, and he kind of he visits Okonkwo in Mabanta to like help him out. And then we also have Chilo, who's the priestess of Ogba, and she's also very fond of Ezinma. And then Mr. Brown is the first white missionary of Umuofia, and he's compromising, whereas Reverend James Smith, who replaces him, is not compromising at all, and it leads to conflict. And the district commissioner is the judge in the white court of Umuofia, and he has messengers, and he claims to bring help to the clan. And here's my bibliography.